Namaste and welcome. It's another, I don't know what he's going to talk about tonight. This is the best world ever. Have no idea what Jesus is going to say and just be completely open to it. Then we can be right here, right now. No planning, no take a number. Oh God, and when that first chapter came out and he's going now, now, no take a number, no waiting line, no waiting room. The best news ever. He says, but you must look with me and let me guide those miracles. For the fast route, for the slow, leisurely walk home through hell, we can pick the miracles. Someone was saying that earlier about how, I was picking, Jesus is telling me I'm picking the miracles. Was that Dyra we joined today? It was beautiful. But it was a reminder for me, and I was talking to him, I was picking a lot of miracles. Oh, Jesus, yeah. It's just not efficient. They're misguided. This is such a powerful teaching for me. That he chooses the miracles. You're going to see it. You'll have the direct experience of how simple and powerful that is. Especially if you're used to like telling stories, and getting in the kerfuffle. I mean, because we all play that game. And you're going, and I have to clear this, and I have to clear that, and I have to clear this, and I have to, see the ego is the endless laundry list of what you need to clean. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like, walking through a field of flowers and plants, and you're just kind of picking the flowers off. He's going, no, I'm going to show you there's no field whatsoever. Because I'm asking him. So Jesus consciousness likes to cherry pick. That's cherry picking. That's why he must be in control of the atonement for the fastest means. Like he says, he doesn't say the course. Does he say anywhere that the course is the only way? No. There are a couple of things. One, the power that comes through a cleared mind, a mind that's released from desire. It's no longer using this energetic dive down into the perception. It's no longer, it's turned toward the light, infinite everything. To want for nothing. Fear is wanting. Wanting experience of fear. So just admit it. Boy, I want this. I want this more than God. Then it gets quick. The other thing, it's coming into the chapter 20's teaching, because you go through so many desires so directly with him, you'll know for sure there's no order of difficulty of miracles. You won't have a question about that. He'll show you directly. There are no difficult order of difficulties of miracles. Because you'll see it's all the same. Oh, I want that too. I want that too. Well, anything I want, I can unwant. I want this world, I unwant it. I miracle. Give that to Jesus for a miracle. And also today he was showing me and reminding me about how many times, like, we're crying and screaming, help me, help me. And he's literally, the release is in progress. Because I was asking him about several things in memory, where, God, it just felt like I'm dying, No, what's dying, the one that's complaining doesn't exist. So it can't even die. But Muji calls it, okay, beings come to him and say, Muji, I want to die before I die. The only thing that dies is the idea we're separate from God. Gone. Now, that can fall away and you can see you're not separated and still be in the play of consciousness and still be reacting to every twitch. Watching movies, wanting to be in there, or some beings go, yes, I see that's all there is, but why can't we build? Why can't we? Because it's not natural to you. That's why. You'll suffer it. Because that's playing in consciousness. That's playing the, the no to God game and pretending little God. I'm a little God. No. You can ask Jesus. Rest your holy mind. He says, just rest. Okay, Jesus. And it was so beautiful, it was joining with Lori. I mean, you just see how it's just so much to be reminded. Like that we do not know how to be. We know how to do or think we do. And we're so used to doing. Think about that. We're so used to doing. He has to actually use doing because we don't even know what being is. He says, do everything I tell you. See, he has to actually use the word doing to show us that we're being, because he has to use everything that the ego used to turn it back in on itself to show you that you're doing nothing. Be only that. Be what you are. We like little Christmas trees. I'm asking because he was showing me how at one time, how he works with us and the way we can understand, like how we like to have little Christmas trees and decorate it with little ideas about what it's supposed to look like. First thing you know, you're getting ready for Christmas and you're all mad because you don't have the right color ornaments on there. That's consciousness. We're trying to decorate ourselves with what isn't there. We can't look in the light. We can just look as light beings. So you can marinate it like this is powerful. Because then it's the space for revelatory experience. Again, that's why he doesn't wait, within, I think, lesson 40, maybe. I know definitely, unequivocally lesson 44, because I always keep that in mind. Probably about 33 or something. I mean, something like 40 or something. He's already saying, okay, drop every idea you have. He's the same as Moody. Drop all the ideas you think you have. All the emotions, all thoughts, and what's there. And even though he brought me to look at the headless way. It took me a while before I recognized it. Like I say, it was my niece going, they're the pointing experiments. If you're guided, look at those online. You'll see how obvious it is that the nothing is looking out at your finger. My 7-year-old niece got it immediately. All's forgiven. You see that there's something, it's not even looking out, it's just here actually, but you'll see that there's no object looking out actually. In truth, there's not an object here. It's an idea that there's an object here. So even when that's seen and it's recognized, and the mind may cooperate and gently fall silent, and you're in all this happiness when you see it for a while, and then you hear it, what happened? Where did that go? A desire for experience, not to be light. The choice to have an experience of not honoring that all there is light, not the light the eye see. Just it's recognizable. We can't be, and there isn't anything other than that. And then there's a play of consciousness to pretend. The little pretend factory, little manufacturing plant, just chugging along, out of every desire. Then it goes, there's the world. And here's what it's going to feel like. Because the desired experience, then every subconscious desire filters every experience. You can ask Jesus. Everyone, Jesus, every single one. And another thing that came out, and I did just post it, I'm going to put it on a post, but it's on YouTube now. Linda and Mona's, our little talk about, they were sharing their experience with chapter 20. And they were reporting what Jesus told me. You start to see there's a reason why he seems to give some of the same things. They look like they're the same. See, the ego would bypass that, but it's the fractionation. It's Jesus, that sound like the last desire. But then when you actually ask him, like you'll have cleared that other one or the sentence before, and then you'll see, oh, I still have that. What's the deal? Because that's fractionation. The way fraction, it takes the slightest little thing and makes it real, and another slightest little thing, and that's real, and that's real. And then we have fractionated, then perception feels fractioned. And we feel like a fragment. It's going to hurt. It's good that it hurts, actually. Because if we didn't see the pain, we wouldn't start to wake up. The pain is just a ring, ring, ring. Hello. That's not true. Time to look with me. It's the wake-up call. But then we've gotten so tolerant. Like you said, you become so tolerant of the pain and the horror and in the play, and so addicted. You can talk to cocaine addicts, they'll tell you. It really, in truth, when you really look at it, it's not that good. I mean, they'll be happy for, it's, you look at it, it's a little short thing. And then the rest of it, the withdrawal and everything else feels like HELL, because it is. It's just exposing all the stuff below the subconscious mind, desire for experience. To take a pill and have an experience. Jesus does not give magic. For those who are really willing to look, like he says, if you're really in fear of looking, it's well to use magic. Because you have so many beliefs. Like once you know that you're the chooser of it, choosing the experience, it's insanity to use magic, actually. And I'm asking him, you can ask him, does he give that as an assignment? Taking magic. It's not sustainable. Even if you go take ayahuasca, that is not sustainable. That doesn't do anything except demonstrate to you that you have a belief that a pill can actually do something, and you're just playing in consciousness still. You can ask them. See, you want something done to you. You want to take a pill and have experience of something being done to you in order to wake up. What need would you have if you already know your light for that? If you know you see the lights here. See, it's still a call in consciousness for experience, for another play in consciousness. You can ask Jesus because you can talk to him directly about it. It's just a play in consciousness, because it's consciousness plays like it's too fearful. Actually, look right now to see the light is here. So see how it creates a future? I'm going to take a pill, and then I take the pill, and then my mind, then my mind's going to open up, and I'm going to see things that I've not seen before. And then let's look and see, is the light needing that experience to recognize what it is? It's a play in consciousness. I felt so expanded. No, you can do that. Forgive. You'll feel infinite. Jesus, is ayahuasca a form of forgiveness? It's not to judge it. It's not to judge anyone doing it. It's just, just ask him, Jesus, is that the fastest means to recognition of identity? He says, see that you're light. Ask me to show you all the desire not to be light. So it's fear. Ask him. It's a form of fear. All magic is a form of fear. He's trying to help us not be fearful of anything and not need experience and idols to, is that an idol? He says, yes. Okay, I'll say it. It's a form of idol worship, actually. It's just not sustainable. He says, this is just not sustainable. It's part of the exploration of consciousness. I believe, I mean, I trust him totally. It's not for me. See, I'm asking him, is it a distraction? Yes. It's lack of confidence. It's lack of confidence. It's fear. Flat out, he's telling me it's fear. Okay. So you can look at the desire for fear under it. You can explore it with him directly, and then see, light doesn't need a pill to show it what it is. And it doesn't need a pill to heal it of whatever it's experiencing. He says, ask me not to heal the body. Ask me to reveal the underlying conditions. The conditions underneath it. And if you can join in the way he's showing and see that there's no other, see, it's just the ego does not want to see there's no other. So it manufactures experiences to deny that it's light already. We can all hear him. There's just no one can hear better than another. It just kind of seems that way for a time, because the play in consciousness is to pretend like we hear him. We don't hear him. No, we don't want to hear him when he's telling us what we need to hear. Ask him, Jesus. So when I'm not really clear on something, I really don't want to hear it. No, you can just hear that. Whenever I'm not clear, you can just feel it go up your back. Like, whenever I'm not clear, that means I really don't want to hear you. And here is yes. Okay, I'm going to put that over any kind of energy around that. Ask for a miracle. But he knows that, he's not judging. He doesn't judge anything. He's the wise brother saying, that's hell, this is heaven. That's hell, this is heaven. The number of times he'll have to point it out. Oh my God, he's patient. He's just, that's the light. See, the light it's not going like this. Okay, now the light's not pulling out a watch. See if you can find let's see if we can find a watch in that light. Light doesn't know what a watch is. So we stay with the light. I love that. Muji, take your true position. Light. Does the light blow in the wind? No. Is the wind more powerful than the light? Is a hurricane more powerful than a light? Just test every experience in consciousness that shakes, where rattles our knees, Does a tsunami change light? Volcanic activity? Aliens landing? You just put them all in there and see if that's more powerful than light. But it's funny because if a roach comes crawling in, we had this roach discussion. And just see how quickly you're going to jump out of the light like a frog out of boiling water if a roach comes. Thankfully, that little session we did that day, we'll put the link to that meditation. If you haven't seen it, we're going to try to get that. Did we get that translated, Dyer? I don't know, the roach one. It is? Okay. So you got subtitles on the Roach one. We're going to put the link in there. No subtitles yet? Oh, she did the voice? No, not yet? Oh, okay. So we're going to find out how to get that for the Spanish because it's hilarious. It really is. We laughed so hard on that because everybody could see if a roach came, they would jump. Like I said, we'd be meditating on light and a roach comes, "Ooh." You know? Thankfully, that deconditioned. Just laughing about it so hard and seeing it, seeing the play in consciousness, something moving along with little 6 little legs. It's such a good example of how consciousness plays. You are not light until you overcome that roach. Or whatever, but you start seeing the twigs of consciousness, the identification with objects, how we like being stuck to it like Velcro. These thoughts, I'm like, then you can laugh with Jesus when he just reminds you, excuse me, just he puts up one thing. I have a suggestion for you, but Jesus, I'm just not, this one thing. Psst. I can't hear you. That must be static. I can't hear him telling me I'm light. So just throw the phone away. We want to boot that light. I'm not liking what you're telling me. That's when the kerfuffles start, really. Well, kerfuffles are always not listening, because if you're listening to him, see, then he's coaching you through it all constantly. Don't you worry about a thing. Jesus, do I just relish worrying? Do I like worrying? My worrying on a stick. I can really enjoy. Just ask him. It's like this. The ego goes like this with worry. It is funny. You are going to laugh so hard when you go down there with them and you're looking at relishing and you watch those 2 little devil horns pop out. You just see how much that devil, oh, I want to be a little devil down there. Really. But then you can laugh, it's not so serious. It's not so serious. Jesus, come with me. He's very gentle. Let me show you. But like for me, I mean, there were so many in the experience. Boy, as soon as I saw it was desire, man, I was just, Jesus, give me every desire having to do with it's going to be hellacious, that it's going to be difficult, all that play. Those are helpful ones to look at them first, My brother's my enemy. You get that? Will you help me look at those first, Jesus, so that I'm not, so I'm not entertaining myself with a hellacious wake-up experience. If it's being experienced, it's desired. Every twitch, Jesus, ask him. The teeniest little itty bug flying, the fly lands, there were like a couple of disciples. I don't remember where I read this somewhere, but they're contemplating and they just have been sitting for a long time, man. And just a mosquito came and they're trying to be really still. Here it comes. And you just feel just that little mosquito. Zzz, and you're trying to just like contemplate light, and there's a little zzz. It's all that. That's just like one of 100 billion distractions. That's why we can't choose the miracles, because the ego will keep you so busy in the miracle hunt Oh, twitch. Oh, miracles. It's a relief when Jesus says, don't worry about that. Look at this. Like Muji says, the ego throws stones in the bush. Go look over there. It's not going to want you to look at the right thing. And as I've said, you start getting on to it. You start looking with your buddy. You're going down. All of a sudden, you get yourself going off on a mind wandering trip. So it's, oh, you're snoring. Just come gently back and go, Jesus, was I avoiding something? That's a handy one. They'll go, yep. And he's saying it now. Yes, that's avoidance. Mind wandering is avoidance. Okay. So will you show me what I was avoiding right there? Especially on some of these deep dives. I think I've said before how one of these computers is a total, we don't know. It just makes that submarine sound whenever we're in a light circle. It's been ping, you can hear the submarine going down, so we have to laugh. Powered by Jesus. And the thing about the fear of looking, it just exponentially just dries up. Now you may refuse to look just for the fun of it. You can have this Jesus how consciousness, like, I'm not looking. I don't want, well, then just, if that comes up, you just go, okay, I'm going to look at the desire not to look. So you don't have to get upset about anything. You don't have to break a sweat. Just go, I'm going to sit with Jesus and look how much, because how many emotions, like look over your lifetime, how many things come and go, emotions, thoughts. They all come. So any twitch that's arising, but what happens, it's just see the pattern in consciousness, the slightest little thing in the oh no button. It's, oh no, Mr. Bill. And all of a sudden it's like this, really, it blooms. You can be sure that what's happening is your consciousness in the play is going under there, pretending it knows nothing about fueling the whole thing. So just go down there with Jesus and look at where you're fueling it. He's going to show you where the fuel on the experiences. The death wish. I know someone asked me about what's a death wish? Well, it's the wish not to have light. So we all recognize infinite light. And if you don't, you can still have, maybe we'll just have a joining session on recognition of light with Jesus, so he can coach us through any doubt thoughts that you can recognize light, because it's only a doubt thought because it's natural to you. But it's helpful to see it, to release any desires not to see it. I mean, just even a glance, even a little holy instant, like Papaji goes, will you give it 1 second, give it less than 10 seconds just to drop everything and see what's there. To see that you're light. Okay, wait, all there is. And then Buddha laughs. You see a lot of the laughs that are really hilarious when it's recognized, oh, wait, there's nothing here. There's just light here. Okay, step 1, recognition of light. Is there light here? Yes. Now, you may not be able to, because the play in consciousness is not to admit we're that, or to say I'm that, but it's the ego saying I'm that. It's the one who's not that saying it is that. That doesn't work. Yes, Jesus. Does the ego play that way? I'm that. No. That light doesn't announce I'm that. The light just is. It just is. It just, See, the light doesn't have a little placard in there, a little flashing light going, I'm light, I'm light. It just is. It's what's here. It's recognition of sameness, that everything's the same. The sameness is the joy. It's so antithetical to the ego, which tries to make change joy, find joy in change, which is impossible. Conditional joy. Joy if, when, then, because. The idea of becoming, the idea of improving, the idea of fixing, the idea of a doer. See, the whole play of doership is doing to win love. But if you're already love, how can you be doing anything? What would you have to do to win love? There's no winning love. Love just is. So he's bringing me back to and reminding me the real power of what's given in A Course in Miracles. And that is every single, we don't have to sit there and figure out what they are, what the desires are that deny divinity. It's direct pointing. All we have to do is sit with Jesus and let him agree and be willing to release every one of those to a miracle, into Christ's control, and to see he's in charge of the miracles. This is the most, for here, as soon as we turn the miracles over to him, and he's training us how to do that through chapter 20, it is game over for ego. Because it's so fast and so direct, and you don't have to figure it out. You know, things will arise. That's why we have also the joining sessions, the light training. Start with light, ask me. Start with light, ask me. Start with light, ask me the miracles. To see that this is the most efficient use of time. He said it's always the avoidance to look to see how simple it is to see what's already here. Light. The contemplation on light. What gift, what greater gift could we give to ourselves than this within consciousness? To come together in holy union, to hear the voice for God. Could there be a greater value than this? To honor ourselves as light beings, the one, to be in holy communion with God together. And the sheer joy that it can't be explained, like, at all. We're so unused to it, like just being joy, because that's all we are, is joy. And you're just like walking down the street and just joy. Like it's these assignments is for the association between doing and getting. Doing is getting, trying to get something, and just being what we are. So when we follow, he's showing you there's nothing to do. It's the most amazing thing. So he's using doership to follow him and do what he tells us, to bring the mind past the idea of a doer. Now, how about that? But then we fight. We don't want to do it. And the ego goes, I'm not doing it because Jesus is making me do something I don't want to do. That's the ego speaking to say, I want to keep the doer alive. And that's going to be hard and difficult. What's going to be hard and difficult is the delay. It's really accepting. I'm asking him, it's accepting his timing on things. I remember like it's like, Jesus, you're not helping me out. You said you'd do the minutia. Where's the water? Because we needed water one time here. Well, he says, well, and then they had called the truck. We'd called because the truck wasn't going to come till Tuesday. We're not coming to, it just showed up that day. 5 p.m. just showed up. This just his way of just time and space. They couldn't come for Tuesday. Now they're there on Friday, right when we needed water. How's that? Okay, tick that box. Let me get my little book of how many times I've been wrong Jesus out. Just put that down. Put that down in there. Then he has the minutia handled for us. So he is reminding me again, you do chapter 20, he's taking care of it all. He's taking care of it all anyway, but it'll get more and more obvious because the mind will open up as the desire's clear. It just opens up so much to ask for help. Like Muji would say, you have to see it's a good thing when the ego's out of moves. Like you're brought to your knees, really. And you'll hear that people just waking up when they were just completely at the bottom of the bottom because the ego's out of moves. Like Eckhart Tolle, you just couldn't get more depressed until you wait a minute. Who is fighting whom? Find the fighter in there. The arguer. Where's the arguer? Who's arguing with whom? Are there really people out there fighting, or is that an idea? Are there really wars happening, or are they just images that run on demand? You can ask him, Jesus, is war just images that run on demand? Wow, out of the subconscious mind? You ask them. Hurricanes, images on demand out of the subterranean catacombs? Yeah, that's what the ego doesn't want to see that. Jesus, will you show me how much I really do not want to be light whatsoever? Okay. Thank you for this magic carpet ride back home, Jesus. Thank you for the ride with my brother so we can laugh about the impossibility that we could ever be separate from the light that we are. And that nothing's going to happen when we look. Nothing, like Moody would say, nothing will happen to you. Except the you, you'll see that there's no you. And that what was trying to be preserved was a part of the self-image, an out-picturing of the idea. And it was a way consciousness plays to preserve that little out-picturing. I can hear, let your heart be light. That's what he says, let our hearts be light. Thank you for bringing us together in holiness again. To see that that's our only function. Completion. And to see how confused we truly are. We were looking at that today, the confusion around what function is. And it's nothing like the idea of what we think function is when he's talking about. They'd say that in community all the time. I'm in function. So now, just so Jesus could show me I'm wrong again, we're using the word function around here. But you start to see the purposefulness in that. Function meaning I'm in the expression of completion. Your only function is completion. And when you're following guidance, you're in full expression of completion. Expressing as a divine being that's recognition that what's complete, holy, whole, and complete. No extras, no decorations, fewer and fewer twitches in this world, but not of the world. The acceptance of the Father's Son exactly as he is, holy, whole, and complete. We accept your offer, Jesus. Thank you. Amen. All the way. Get our little rocket ships. Love you. You guys are the fuel in my rocket ship. I realize that. Thanks for being the fuel in the rocket ship to heaven.